We are already being live or are put to the live video. So I think we can start, and then so first of all, I would maybe just introduce myself. I am former communications coordinator from Lithuanian Scouting, and I'm very happy. And I also work with the Lithuanian Peace Light some years before. I remember we had this like horrible snowstorm coming through Lithuania, and our peace light was lacking somewhere within trains and traffic. So it was very nice to be, remember this and become a little bit of, a little at least part during these times within this project. So now I would like to ask you to introduce yourself, Marta.
My name is Marta, and I'm from Polish Scouting and Guiding Association. And I'm in love with Piece of Light because I remember it when I was a child. So it's like the longest part of scouting I am taking part in. I am communication specialist about Piece of Light, of course. And yes, and I'm in the team who is organized it in Poland. So this year.
It's, I think, very strange year. Well, it's strange for everybody. Cases are like rising everywhere. The Christmas is coming, and everyone, is worried how things are gonna go. So the simple question I would just like to start with, Marta, is like, how is your organization doing? How are you going and getting through these times?
I think we're going not bad, because from the very beginning we have started like our scouts meeting. We of course have them online. So from the one side it's a bit difficult for people, like, because you have now all your life in internet. So, and the natural environment for scouts is, I don't know, forest or mountains or sea or somewhere not in front of the computer. So that's the most difficult, I think. But in the same time, we are helping people who this help need. Like, we are doing shopping for old people. We were doing a collections for health service. So we are trying to be in the place when we are needed and where somebody needs help, because it's about scouting. So
yeah, that's true. And I think especially when winter is coming, well, we're, in the same climate zone with you here, and, all the cold is coming, and at least in Lithuania, it's minus, and we had snow very early, I think, this year than, the years before. So I think the attention that we can give as scouts is more like super important at this time of the year, I think. And yeah, in Lithuania, scouts are doing pretty much the same. We're volunteering, and especially with the food and all the help that we can give for the people in the risk groups. So yeah. And what are the specific, like, maybe angles that you took on the Bethlehem Peace Light? Like, how are you gonna go with the whole process?
Every year because we are getting a Piece of Light from scouts from Slovakia, and every year, like 300,000 or 400,000 thousand scouts from Poland are meeting in Zakopane, in the south part of Poland, and we are preparing for getting the Piece of Light. And we have 3 days of some games, and we have some celebrations, and the main day is Sunday, when we have a big celebration and a mass with and a service with Slovakian scouts. And this year we can't meet in Zakopane, like in 4,000 people. So we have some parts online, and the moment when we get the Piece of Light from scouts from Slovakia will be very small. There will be only 4 people, but I think it will be some kind of magic in this, because always there was a lot of people, and now we can celebrate it in our homes, just and prepare by ourselves to this moment. So yes, it's much different than in the years before, but different, it doesn't mean worse. So
yeah, or less important. I think that's
Mhm.
yeah. Are you gonna be personally there in Zakopane to take the fire?
I will be, because some part of program we have transmissions, we have a concert or we have a game, and some people are going to Zakopane to make a transmission of this, to let other people may watch it. So so yes, I will be in Zakopane, but I will be not in the place that a light will be given from Slovakian.
That's very nice to hear. Well, at least let's hope you will all be safe with your travels, and
We hope so too.
and the light will come, on time, not late when it sometimes happens. And how did you choose those people, that the 4 people who will take the light? Did you have any, I don't know, contest or anything, or was
No, it's our the most important people in our organization. So that's the reason there will be not any child or everybody who are actually will be in Zakopane are over 18 years old. So so in this year it will be for a bit, maybe not for adults, but for, because of the safety reason, only mature people will be there.
Well, that's, yeah, I think that is good, and all the precautions, I think, will be the same that we will take here in Lithuania, because it's just like you cannot, go in any other way at this point, I think. But I heard that you mentioned you will have concerts still and some games. So are you gonna go through it like online, and or how it's gonna?
Yes, we have games, like each group who wanted to take part in a game will get the like a package or something to their place where they are living, to their cities, their towns, and if it's possible, they can meet up to 5 people, I guess now. But I'm not sure, because a few days ago it have changed again.
It's
So
changing tomorrow in Lithuania too.
yeah, so I'm not sure, but I think it's 5 people now, so they can meet in 5 people and do this exercises or whatever in this game will be, or they can do it separately in their homes. So it's one, and the concert, yes, will be the band of touristic and scouts songs. There will be in Zakopane, and there will make a transmission, and they will play the music on the view of Tatry Mountains. So I think it will be wonderful.
Wow, now I'm like envy you that we don't have any mountains that we can use, for
Oh, we will
our.
find it in Poland.
Well, we'll need to think about it, for the next piece of light.
Yes.
Maybe, we can already be throw just like joint, Polish Lithuanian Bethlehem Peace Light concert, or game thing. So then it's, yeah, because we have had some. I remember that few years ago, not within Bethlehem Peace Light, but with our department who works with different ethnic groups within Lithuania. We have it within scouting, and of course we have like Lithuanian and Polish scouts here in Lithuania. And that department organized in the evening, just I think it was also in the late autumn or even in the Advent period. And I remember that the kids there were singing, I think Lithuanians were singing some kind of a song or a lullaby, and then Polish were like, oh, we have this too. And it was a wonderful view. And I remember there are like videos and also pictures of like, little scouts sitting around and singing the same song, just like the Polish scouts of Lithuania were like, singing it in Polish, and then the Lithuanians in Lithuania. So that was real nice, because there are a lot of, I think, common things that
Yes.
that we have. So it is. I think that would be an idea.
Yes, actually, for about a piece of light, we have a special 2 songs about piece of light. So it was written. They were written a few years ago, and actually every year we sing them during this time. When I was a scout leader and I had my scouts, we were every year learning this song. So I really like it and enjoy it.
Yeah, we have one, and we all the time are singing it when spreading the light around, especially when we do it, in the bigger ministries, for example, and so on. So that is, I think, I will gonna connect this question also how you will be spreading the light within Poland. Are you also gonna go and visit ministries, or is it very restricted and you're not gonna visit institutions? And yeah, how are you planning this?
We are gonna visit institutions, and we want, as every year, that piece of light to get to everybody who wants to have it. But every year when we were going to ministries, to the president, we had a lot of people there, and now it will be only 2 or even 1 person for each department or ministry, or even the place. It doesn't matter. Everywhere will be 1 or maybe 2 people. And of course, we will have distance, we'll have masks, and we recommend to not to get inside the building, but to spreading the light outside. So we'll always remember about safety and about our health, but still we want to give the piece of light to everyone, so, and share it, because that's our mission, I think.
Yeah, it's I think so strange to when I remember that last year I was visiting some of the departments that we use to visit, and it seems because of the COVID and all the lockdowns, it seems that it was so not long time ago. I'm sorry if you
Yes.
hear any boom boom sounds. There are kids upstairs living, and I think they're playing time right now. So if you will hear any kind of
Not yet.
okay, that's good. Maybe they will keep it low. So yeah, but talking again about ministries, it seems that it was like snowing, and we were sharing that piece of light not so long time ago because of all of this situation. And at least for us, I don't know how it is in Poland, but our scouts and different groups were very eager to share and have the peace light within different churches. And we used to also collect money and then raise them for different scout centers around Lithuania and so on. And it's quite sad that this time we will not be able to do it. Like, is it the same in Poland, or?
We are not collecting. We're just going to the churches and to department and to, I don't know, sometimes hospitals. It depends on every scout group has some places they are going every year. So I hope they will try to go in the same places they used to. We recommend to sometimes leave the light somewhere in a church, not doing it during the mass, but just leave it, and people who will want to, they can have this and take from church. So we'll try to do it, maybe not normally, because it's not a good word for this time and for this year, but we'll try to make it a little bit normal.
Yeah,
like
that's
to make this tradition be alive. So that's the most important, I think.
Yeah, I think people are already, after all these years that we have been doing this, they are expecting. And even I think in churches that was like, I don't know, I was not surprised every time when we would come with different scout groups to share the light. And then I remember different, like I think even not even just random people, but also people within the church community. They were like, "Oh, you're bringing, Bethlehem Peace Light," and they would all the time be so happy, and then helping. We would even sometimes have like those food sharing, evenings afterwards. So that was really, really nice and cozy, and see the people that I sometimes used to see just once within that period before Christmas. So now it is. Well, it's not kind of,
Yes.
it is a sad loss that we don't have it. And so do you have any like traditions like we had? Yeah, we sometimes used to have those cozy evenings sharing dishes within also our Catholic community in Lithuania. Do you have any traditions which are around Bethlehem Peace Light that you were like not able to have, or maybe you just have some memories to share?
We have we also had, like, when we were sharing the light, some institutions or departments were inviting us for their informal Christmas Eve, like before the proper Christmas Eve, but like the in a company there is like a small Christmas Eve before, a few days before. So we were invited to these celebrations to give them during this like officially piece of light with a lot of people. So this year we can't do this. But our scouting tradition is our yacht Zawisza Czarny, where with scouts had a course to the Denmark or sometimes Sweden, and they were having the piece of light just to share to Sweden or to Denmark. And this year we cannot have this course, so that's sad. But I hope next year it will become back. But it's a really nice tradition about Piece of Light in Poland that we are taking it on the yacht, and there's 40 people only, and they're taking care. And we know that the Baltic Sea during the winter isn't the cozy and nice.
No.
So it's really difficult, and it's a great adventure, I think, too. So for scouts. And the adventure, sometimes when I talk to them, they say it's the adventure of the life. So they remember about it and remind it really for long years.
I remember one of my friend who was, I think, coordinator for Bethlehem Peace Light last or 2 years before. She carried around the Bethlehem Peace Light and tried not to put it off. So I remember she came to my house because she was living in another city, and we put it in the bathtub and had it like all night, burning within the bathtub. That was like how much the people, at least in Lithuania, who were like responsible, were taking care of the light to never go off. So I can only imagine how hard it is to actually do it within yacht in the Baltic Sea in the winter.
I have never been of this course personally, but I think I'm not sure. Am I too enough? Do I have enough courage to be there? So.
Yeah, that would be, if someone would like suggest, you would be like, well, that sounds interesting. If there's no one who wants to go, then I might join. And I think in the end, like with scouts, we would enjoy it, but it would be super, like, it would be kind of stressful. We are used to challenges, but then some challenges are just like very challenging challenges. Yeah.
Yes, I 1 year there was so many people, scouts, wanted to go for this course that they were going even to 2 countries, and there were 2 courses actually. One was, I don't remember, to Denmark, and second to Sweden or something like this. I'm not sure, but when they published they started recruitation for this, it was 3 minutes and 40 places were over. So it's really popular, and a lot of people wants to go there and wants to be there, wants to try it.
Yeah, and it gets me thinking about the main thought of the Bethlehem Peace Light for this year, that the peace has no walls. If I would translate that very literally from Lithuanian, and somehow I think even now hearing that the yacht will not be able to sail away and give out the piece of light, it reminds me about those walls. And I think I just heard on the radio when we were driving home that Australia is shutting down its walls, and no one can go out or go in until like March something. So right now I think countries are very much closing up again, as we had during the first wave. So I would maybe just would like to for you to share how do you feel about this thought, the main thought of the Bethlehem Peace Light this year, and what does it mean to you personally?
Actually, you said about main theme in Lithuania, and we also have like this. And for us, it's in this year, it's piece of service or piece of help. It's difficult to translate it, but I think the service and help, maybe a little bit duty. It will be the good one. And this slogan, this theme reminds us what is important, what was the most important for us this year. So for us, for scouts who wants to help, who wants to bring help to everybody who is needed, decide that this theme will be about what we are feeling this year, and we want to help. And I think that when we will spreading piece of light, it will be our service too, because we want to give the people who will maybe spend the Christmas by themselves alone without family, to remind them that this is peace who brings I forgot the word right now.
What is the word in Polish? Maybe it's the same.
Nadzieja.
No.
It's hope. Of course, it's hope.
Hope. Okay.
So that the light brings hope, and I think this light for me is hope this year, definitely. That I hope this year will be finished, and the next year will be better. And this Christmas, even not in 20 person on Christmas Eve, will spend only with 2 or 3 closest people from my family. But I have hope that next year we'll meet together. So I think this is the most important about light and this theme for me this year. And I think for a lot of people in Poland too, that not maybe in Poland, but in the whole world, we are waiting to finish and to the end of epidemic. So
yeah, I can only imagine right now, it is the month that all of those articles are popping up, like 2021, what it's gonna be, like what are the main trends of life during 2021. And it's very, I think, hard truth that nobody really knows. We are just like, I think it's good that we have this, like, the end of one year, and somehow someone is like, having this, like, very, exact date and exact line that we are hoping to cross, and just then to pursue with all of our lives. But then it is also the truth that we don't know how it's going to happen. I think it's one of the things that also very much impacting scouting all around the world. We're all in the same boat.
Yes, I think it was difficult this year too, that we couldn't plan anything. We couldn't meet. We couldn't go to the camp, to the forest. We couldn't be in our natural environment. So I think that we are waiting for meeting, for coming back to our natural meetings, not in front of the computer. So I think this case that we can't plan anything because we don't know what will be next week or next day even. It was really, really difficult for us because we were learning as a scouts that we have to have a plan. To do something, we should have a plan. We should do it a few weeks. It depends what it is, but a few days or weeks before. And now we can't do it. So I hope we'll remember this next year how to do it, and we can do it. So that's my hope.
Yeah, that's true. I just see that someone in the comments of our live streaming wrote that, I think it's about the yak that we have, that wrote that I would also like to have this kind of adventure. And I don't care that it's hard or scary, but adventure, that would be for like the whole lifetime. So I think if you will have places or spare, we can talk maybe, next year, upcoming Bethlehem of Light, if everything goes fine, maybe we can, put one Lithuanian within the border. We're just like gonna, throw it him like around the border somewhere. But yeah, coming back to all of the scouts and plans. So then, I think it was supposed to be very hard to plan also for the Bethlehem Peace Light, because the same in Poland as in Lithuania. I think the whole the rules are changing during the COVID, and the whole scene and cases are changing, and you don't know how it's gonna go. So how was it? Like, was it hard? Did you have like 3 plans, like plan A, plan B, plan C, and how is the finish line looking? Like, are you already set, or are you still having some questions that you might change some things?
So yes, you're right. We had plan A, B, and C, and even D. So we start planning everything in May or in June, in the beginning of June. And in that time, we thought that it will be possible to meet in this because the most important thing that we are organizing, it's this meeting in Zakopane, like for the whole weekends, like a small camp. So we are hoping that we can meet in those 4,000 people. And in the same time, we had plan B, like that we will have some people in Zakopane and some people in their cities. And there was plan C, that there will be no people in Zakopane, everybody will be in their homes. And actually this plan is we are having now. We decided I think in the beginning of November, or even in the end of October, when there were a lot of cases COVID in Poland, and we are still hoping that maybe it will change, but it was too big event to decide later and not let people know what how it will be look like. So it is plan C we are having now, and I don't know, do we have any more questions? We know that there will be some people in Zakopane who are making the transmission. The people will or will not meet in their cities. It actually depends on them. Do they want to do it or do they don't? And we know how to spread the piece of light. We have recommendation about health and safety. So of course something can surprise us, but I think that in this moment, because this event is this weekend, so we are talking a few days before, I think we are really good prepared for it, and I hope everything will be okay, and then will be come back health and safety.
I sound like that gives me hope. That is what you're telling me gives me hope, that at least with the light traveling through Poland, everything will be fine, and then we will be able to just take it from you and give it out to Latvia.
So when you are taking the light from us?
Excuse me, what was the question? When or
when you are?
I'm not sure when is the exact date that we're taking the light from you. It used to be, when I was responsible, we used to be like December 18th, but I think it's too late right now. It's going to be I think earlier, but
yes,
I'm not sure.
This year actually the light is early in Poland, I think, because it's of course depends on calendar and everything, so yes.
Yeah, I think it's calendar, and it's I think it's good that I just got mentioned that the plan at least is to get the fire from the 15th till 18th.
Okay.
And then spread it around, during those 3 days, and of course get it to and bring it to Latvia during that. And I think it's better than it's earlier this year, because with all the traveling and restrictions coming up and being stricter, because no one wants a lot of people to meet in one place. What usually happens, at least in Lithuania, I think it's in Poland, it's also this family gathering. Christmas is a thing.
Yes.
So yes,
that's what I wanted to say, that it's good that this year the light is earlier, because we have time to share with people and this light, and we can care to spread this light with as many people as we can. And in last year we can go to like 3 or 4 people in a day or even more. And now when we are thinking about safety and distance and everything, I think we are not as productive as we used to be last year. So it's good it's earlier.
Yeah, I think it's good, and I hope that the whole path of Baltic Bethlehem peace light will just end, not somewhere being like taken and being like, because of the restrictions closed in the way. As long as I know right now, everything is fine and it's traveling around, so it's good. I also wanted to ask a very utopian question. I know how Lithuania feels about the Bethlehem Peace Light. I have heard from you now a little bit how Poland feels about Bethlehem Peace Light, but how are the people who are not Scouts reacting to Bethlehem Peace Light, and what does it mean to them, and is it just something that they go like, oh, okay, we're just gonna take it to our Christmas table? Sometimes they also ask us if it is the same as the candles that the saint candles that they take from the church. So sometimes we need to explain the differences, but how are the people like reacting to Bethlehem Peace Light in Poland, like just in general?
I think that is the most popular thing. They when they are thinking about Polish Scouting and Guiding Association, they think very often Piece of Light, because it's a kind of tradition, and a lot of people just call us and ask, can I have it? where can I have it? So I think it's the most popular our thing that we are doing, and from year to year, more and more people are getting informations about Piece of Light, and they are taking it from churches, from the works, from some departments. We are trying to bring the light everywhere, and I think it's kind of tradition right now that on your Christmas Eve table there is light of Bethlehem. So I think it's this kind of tradition that we are caring about, and is more and more popular from in the last few years. So it's really nice that people want to have it, and that some of them say us that they can't imagine their Christmas without this piece of light. And they are carrying it and taking care of this, because sometimes they have it for 3 or 4 days before Christmas, and and I think it's a proof that they really care about it, and they like this tradition, and they know it's important, and they give them some confidence inside that everything will be fine.
Yeah, that's true. I think it's well, you always can crack a joke here about cookies, like Girl Guide Scout cookies, at least in Lithuania. Sometimes when they see us with the scarves, they go like, "Are you selling cookies?" Because of all of those, American movies that they see. But it's very nice to hear that in Lithuania. I think it's there are people who already know Scouts, and then they ask, how is the Bethlehem Piece of Light, and they recognize us for this. But I don't think it's in that big scope that you have there in Poland. So I feel very nice, that there's something, else, and something, with a very, very good, kind, and rich message that you can send, around within people. So that is a really nice thing. We actually got a question about yacht. I think this story is gonna just be, the main one that they're gonna remember from this conversation. The question was like, how old do you need to be to participate within?
I think over 18, but I am not sure.
Okay, yeah, that would be. I think when you think about winter, Baltic Sea, and a yacht, that would be a normal age limit for a person.
Yes. Maybe yes. I think it's the most probably that it's over 18.
That's true. That's really true. We kind of have I think around 7 minutes left here. And I would like to get a little bit maybe more from just a personal side about, the time before Christmas and the Christmas itself. Do Scouts, apart from Bethlehem Peace Light, have any traditions that they do have in Poland, which are connected to Christmas? And what do you usually do? Do you have your own Scoutish Christmas Eve, or maybe you can share something from your scouting experience? Maybe you had some event connected with Christmas within Scouts that you really enjoyed.
Actually, we usually our scouting groups has scouting Christmas Eve, and usually there is a piece of light there. But I want to say about some events about Piece of Light, because of course we have this event in Zakopane, but because as you know, Zakopane is in the south part of Poland, so not everyone can go there, because from Gdańsk, from the north part, it takes 30 or 40 hours by bus, maybe a little bit less, but still it's a long distance. So for our the youngest scouts, it's called Zuchy. We have the piece of light cards, and they are sending cards to our place, and then we bring them on a celebration when we are getting Piece of Light. So, and we have we publish those cards on the Facebook, and it's the small thing that every children can make and will share with those cards. And I'm thinking, do we have anything else? We have course and by yacht, of course, and I don't know. Me and my friends from Scouts group, we had always Christmas Eve, and I think it's the most popular for most of people of Scouts too.
Yeah, I think it's kind of the same in Lithuania, because we have this Bethlehem Peace Light that all the groups are sharing within different regions and cities, and then either they connect that cozy evening that they have within the Bethlehem Peace Light, or they have a separate one, just a celebration, maybe even gift exchanging, I don't know. But then it is, I think, also it shows how much Christmas is important, I think, to both of our cultures.
Yes, and actually, I have a friend who is a scout leader now and has his own group, and they can't imagine this Christmas without their Christmas Eve in a scout group. That the whole year, almost the whole year, they didn't have any meeting almost, and now it's like a disaster for him that they can't meet on the Christmas Eve for scouts, because I think it's one of the most important. The first thing is camp during summer, and the second is Christmas Eve for a lot of people, because it's a tradition for us, and we in Scouts group we have our small families, so I think it's important to meet them.
Yeah, that I think I was just having a conversation, I think, with my family, that Christmas, at least, especially for the people, I remember when I was an exchange student, that Christmas was one of the most, this emotional times while you're away from your home. And right now, I think it's even harder for people, and especially Scouts, when you have your second scouting family, and now you sometimes not even can meet with your second family within Scouts, but some of the people cannot even meet their first family, even though they are sometimes even in the same city. So
from one hand you are so close, and from the other hand you are so far away from them. So I think it's even worse when you are living abroad, because you are getting used to this thought that you will not meet someone, and now it's weird and it's different. So I think it's a difficult time for all of us, but I think that the Piece of Light will give us hope that next year will be better, and next Christmas we'll meet everyone with everyone we want to meet.
Yeah, and I hope people, even if they will, be exchanging gifts within their yards, somewhere outside, or just leaving them somewhere, on the doorstep for their parents, so they will leave the Bethlehem Peace Light. Because I remember that at least my whole family, even like grandparents, they were so used, of me like getting their Bethlehem Peace Light, that I cannot even imagine like a Christmas or Christmas Eve, like when I'm not actually, carrying the candle or the light together, with all of the left presents. That would be like, that would feel wrong, I think, at some point.
Definitely, but I think that one thing is sure, that we'll remember this Christmas for the whole our life, I think.
Yeah, I think someone, Matas, wrote in our comments that there he was actually he went with, but that's the Polish name, Zawisza Czarny. Yeah, so okay, so yeah, Matas told me, I don't know if he actually made the Bethlehem Peace Lights not swim, like sail. I think that would be a proper word for that. But he said that he actually sailed with that yacht, and that was the first international scouting event for him, and it was a wonderful adventure. I think your yacht is really taking over this conversation. But
actually, when you're in Gdynia now, it's now yacht isn't in Gdynia, because it's they're changing some things there. But sometimes you can even sightseeing it. So and when you are in Poland, in Gdynia, you can see it.
That's wonderful. I should. I have never been. I think in Gdynia or
Oh,
even
it's very
Gdansk.
nice.
So yeah, I should definitely when I come. I will remember. And now I have a name, so it will be even easier for me to search for the act. I just wanted to ask maybe one of the last thoughts a bit of. How are you spending this Advent time? At least in Lithuania, we always have this, and I think I personally try to, make a good deed every day. And it's harder when you're, you cannot help anyone because you're always have with the same persons around, and sometimes it's very hard, at least for me personally, to differentiate. What are you doing because you're supposed to do, and what you're doing because, as a scout within this period, you are just supposed to do something different within your life or within others and help. How are you spending this time, and how are you trying to at least get through Advent?
I think for me the most important part of Advent is the moment we are getting the piece of light. So for now I'm preparing to this moment. I want to make everything good during the transmission and everything that will help other people watch this moment. And from Sunday I will be thinking only about spreading piece of light. So I think there are two times during my Advent, and I think the second part is the most important for me, like to spread the piece of light to everyone.
And
I think this is my service, this is my help this year.
Yeah, and I think during these times
a little bit of hope.
Yeah, and I think during these times, when you have to make 4 plans instead of one, and have everything, it's really like time consuming more than it would ever be within during any different circumstances. I think, but when you mentioned, I had, I think, two follow-up questions. So, is it your first time taking care of the Bethlehem Peace Light, or for how many years have you been within the whole?
I am not a person who is the head of our Piece of Light organization. I'm only responsible for promotion. So I'm taking care about this part of this. And I was doing it last year and 2 years ago, I think. But when I was younger, I was going for this event to Zakopane, and I was taking part as a participant of it. So I think I was there, I don't know, maybe 7 years in a row, but I'm not sure. I even can't count it, but it's really it's a tradition for me that one weekend during Advent, during December, I spend in Zakopane, and I'm getting piece of light and share it. When I was living in other city, I was taking and when I was younger, I was taking the piece of light and getting to my community, to my town. So I was doing it earlier.
I think it's very nice and wonderful somehow. Well, in scouting, within different even camps and I don't know, activities, we can grow into the roles that we can, later when we're older or more adulty, we can, actually take care, and then it gives us very different perspective, and the responsibility itself, as you said, it becomes, the good deed that you're doing, and that is, I think, very nice and very qualitative way of actually, preserving the traditions and preserving the whole work that we do. And another question that I had, because I used to be also responsible for the communication side more. Are you getting well? Because as from what I understood in Poland, at least the Bethlehem Peace Light is a very big thing for everyone. How much coverage do you get, and do you see that within COVID right now? Is it less or more? And how is the whole maybe communication wise? I don't know, TVs or newspapers, are there? It is the same, amount that you used to get the attention, or is it less because of the COVID?
Actually, I can understand this question next week when we'll already have piece of light, because usually our communication, of course, in social media started started earlier, like 3 months ago, but it was communication to our organization mostly. And the communication to other people will start on Friday, or on actually the most important, on Sunday, where we'll start spreading peace light. So next week I can answer this question, but I think that a lot of media already know that every year Scouts are having Piece of Light. So last year, there a lot of media were interested and wanted to write about us. They were inviting us to television with Piece of Light for some programs. So I hope this year will be the same, and more media will be interested in that theme. But now I can't tell you.
Yeah, I think it's there are always people like jumping in, and then you're having all those calls and everything, and you have to manage. So yeah, all the best of luck with it. And for the last thing, it's not going to be a question, but just maybe have some kind of wish. Like right now, we're being live on YouTube, and there are different scouts. I think also from maybe Polish scouts in Lithuania watching this, Lithuanian scouts. What would be, your wish for the scouts, not maybe even Polish and Lithuanian, maybe, the whole world scouts for this Christmas and this time of Bethlehem Peace Light?
I wish we can be all together, even when we are separately. I wish we can meet, maybe not even online, but in our thoughts, that we remember about each other, and we care about our family and our friends and other people who need this help. And I think that I wish we will. I think I wish we remember about each other and take care. And I think it's the most important. And for next year, I wish everybody to go to their camps and come back to the forest. And that's my wish for next year for every scout.
Yeah, I wish that. I think it's very the same would be from my side. I think that the hope that we're talking a lot about here. I think that at least I hope and wish that Bethlehem Peace Light would bring this hope, of getting back to forest for every scout. And I think what is the more beautiful dream, to dream while you're asleep during the Christmas Eve, is that you're I don't know, around the fireplace with your friends, just singing scouting songs, and
Yes.
I think that is a very beautiful dream and thought that we will kind of also close up here with. So thank you very much, Marta.
Thank you
for coming, for
nice to
talking.
talk with you.
Yeah, for us too. So, and thank you for everyone who watched us. I hope, well, the act was definitely the thing. So you see Marta here, try to connect with Marta next year if you want to see. Or just
to Poland, to Gdańsk, to Gdynia.
So yeah, I think we got a lot of different information and feelings that you're feeling right now. So thank you very much for
Thank you
being here.
Thank you for an invitation.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.